Marcus Reynolds was leaving for work when he heard the knocking. Soft, hesitant knocking on his front door. He opened it to find a little girl, maybe 4 or 5 years old, with curly blonde hair and tear-streaked cheeks. She wore a tan jacket over a red dress and clutched a green backpack. "Can I help you?" Marcus asked, kneeling down to her level. "Sir, my mom didn't wake up," the little girl said, her voice trembling. "I tried and tried, but she won't wake up. Can you help?" Marcus felt his blood run cold. "Where's your mom?" "Where do you live?" "Next door. Number 12. The little girl pointed to the house beside his, the one he barely paid attention to because he left for work before sunrise and came home after dark. "Show me now," Marcus said, his voice urgent. "What's your name?" "Lily." "Lily, I'm Marcus. Take me to your mom right now." Lily led him to the house next door. The front door was unlocked. Inside, the house was cold, the heat clearly turned off. In the bedroom, Marcus found a young woman lying in bed, pale and unmoving. For a terrifying moment, he thought she was dead. Then he saw her chest rise and fall, barely. Marcus immediately called 911, then checked the woman's pulse, weak but present. Her skin was burning with fever. "Lily, when did your mom go to sleep?" "Yesterday. She said she was tired and had to lay down. I made myself cereal for dinner because she didn't wake up. Then I went to bed. But this morning, she still wouldn't wake up, and I got scared." Marcus felt sick. This child had been alone all night with her unconscious mother. The paramedics arrived within minutes. "Severe flu, possibly pneumonia," one said after examining her. "She's dangerously dehydrated, and her fever is critically high." "How long has she been unconscious?" "The little girl says since yesterday afternoon," Marcus said. "She needs to be hospitalized immediately." As they loaded the woman onto a stretcher, Lily started crying. "Where are they taking my mom? I want to go with her." "Sweetie, you can't ride in the ambulance," a paramedic said gently. "Is there someone we can call?" "Family." Lily shook her head. "It's just us. Just me and Mommy." Marcus made a decision. "She can stay with me. I'll bring her to the hospital once you have her mom stabilized." At the hospital, Marcus learned the woman's name was Sarah Mitchell. She was a single mother, worked as a waitress, had no family in the area. She'd been fighting the flu for days, but couldn't afford to miss work or see a doctor. She'd pushed through until her body simply shut down. Her daughter hadn't gotten help when she did. This could have been fatal, the doctor said. Another few hours, and we'd be having a very different conversation. Marcus looked at Lily, who was sitting in the waiting room chair, her small backpack on her lap. This tiny child had saved her mother's life by having the courage to knock on a stranger's door. Over the next few days, while Sarah recovered in the hospital, Marcus took care of Lily. He learned that she was 5 years old, loved dinosaurs, and was incredibly brave despite being terrified. Mommy said, if something bad ever happened, I should find a grown-up and ask for help, Lily explained. I was scared you'd be mean, but I had to try. I'm glad you knocked on my door. Me too. You're nice. When Sarah was finally conscious and stable, Marcus visited her hospital room. She was weak, but awake, and the moment she saw him, she started crying. Thank you. Thank you for helping, Lily. Thank you for calling the ambulance. The doctor said I almost died. Lily saved your life. She was incredibly brave. Where is she? Is she okay? She's with my housekeeper right now. She's safe. Sarah, I need to ask, is there anyone who can help you when you're discharged? Family? Friends? Sarah shook her head. No family. And I can't ask my friends to take in a 5-year-old. They have their own problems. What about work? Income? I'll lose my job. I've been out for days. And the hospital bills. Her voice broke. I don't know how I'll pay for any of this. Marcus sat down. Sarah, I'm going to help you. And before you protest, hear me out. You were working yourself sick literally because you couldn't afford to take a day off. You couldn't afford a doctor. You couldn't afford to get medicine. That's not a personal failing. That's a system failing. I can't accept charity. It's not charity. I own a company that employs thousands of people. I need people in human resources, in administration, in dozens of departments. You're clearly dedicated. You worked through the flu until you collapsed. That's dedication I want in my company. So I'm a waitress with a high school diploma. You're a single mother who's kept your daughter safe and healthy while working multiple jobs. That's management experience, crisis management, financial management. You're qualified for a dozen positions I have open. Over the following months, Sarah recovered and took a job in Marcus's company administrative coordinator with health insurance and paid sick leave. Marcus helped them find a better apartment and insisted on covering the hospital bills. You don't have to do all this, Sarah said as they moved into their new place. Marcus had shown up with his truck to help. I want to. Somewhere between Lily knocking on my door and watching you fight to rebuild your life, I realized something. What? That I've been living in that big house alone, working all the time, not really living. Lily woke me up, literally and figuratively. She reminded me that neighbors should know each other, that community matters, that connection is more important than success. Marcus, I'm not finished. I've also realized that you're remarkable. You're strong, dedicated, and you raised a daughter brave enough to save your life by asking a stranger for help. That's incredible parenting. Sarah smiled through tears. She is pretty amazing. So are you. A year after Lily had knocked on Marcus's door, he proposed not in some grand gesture, but quietly, while helping Lily with her dinosaur homework. Sarah, Lily knocked on my door when you needed help. You've been knocking on my heart ever since. You showed me what matters: family, connection, being there for people. I don't want to be your neighbor anymore. I want to be your family. Will you marry me? At their wedding, Lily served as flower girl and gave a toast. My mommy got really sick and I was scared. So I knocked on Mr. Marcus's door and asked for help. He helped my mommy and he helped me, and then he just kept helping. Now he's my dad. So if you need help, you should ask for it. Because asking for help is how I got a dad, and how my mom got better, and how we got a family. Sometimes knocking on the right door changes everything. Sometimes the courage of a 5-year-old saves lives and creates families. Sometimes the wealthy neighbor becomes family. And sometimes mom didn't wake up becomes the beginning of everyone waking up to what truly matters. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it. Subscribe for more stories about courage, community, and finding family through crisis. Leave a comment about when someone's call for help changed everything. Your stories inspire us all.